Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming off. Reach down between my legs, ease the seat back.
Okay. Okay.
Pictures of over the edge.
Yeah, okay.
Roger.
Doing.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, no.
Did they put that up on the board?
I've always traveling.
Picture of Roger.
See what it's all about.
Brianna and Bill. You guys have a picture of Roger doing his dad? If we give you a
You
picture.
know, Roger wants to be his leg.
That's it.
Well,
You can do it when Roger's talking.
I know I tell you that was you.
Oh, I was off. Everybody else was involved with that.
It's like, I still, I wasn't gonna stop.
No, I mean, no, that's.
I gotta go on. I gotta.
Going down there was awesome. That's all I want to experience it.
Oh, yeah, it's,
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Step Up. We're super excited to be kicking things off here for our fall series of events. And I hope everybody had a great summer. We're going to spend a little time talking about our summer here and just about goals and things.
Yep.
So I'm Nate Capa, certified prosthetist from Bremer Prosthetics in Flint, Michigan.
And I'm Scott Bronick, certified prosthetist, Saginaw, Michigan, and also I'm a below the knee amputee. So for this session that we're doing today, what we're going to be working on a lot is weight transferring. A lot of times, we've spent focusing on what muscle groups that you want to use when you're balancing, contracting the muscles in the socket to help you balance. But now what we're really looking at, when you take a step, you're shifting weight from one side to the other. We talk about activities like we're going to talk, people about what they did last summer, but a lot of the challenges when we do different activities are the different, ways we have to shift our weight and the different muscles that we have to use to do that. So that's going to be our focus for today. And then I would mention next month, we are going to be going to Brighton for a step up meeting there and, going to a new community, hopefully to and add to our group here. So that's exciting. We have that coming up as well. So
Yep. And so for those of us who aren't from the Brighton area, Saginaw or Flint, we're looking into kind of arranging some group transportation like we used to do back in the old days of Step Up.
yeah, if anybody was with us way back in the day, we
Right.
used to have buses.
Right. So we're looking into doing something similar.
Yeah,
to
we don't
that to
we
help.
don't want to ask you folks to drive further than you're already driving. So we will make arrangements, but that is coming up. So that's exciting.
So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go around the room and introduce ourselves. We really, because we had the break, we'd like to take the time to maybe talk about, what happened over our summer. Did we have any cool goals that we were trying to do that we accomplished? Were there things that were frustrating that kept us from achieving our goals or got in our way from doing what we wanted to do?
Ideas for new goals.
We have ideas for what's coming next. So we're going to kind of kick things off by having Ben come up and talk. Come on up, Ben.
Yeah, Ben did something this summer, and I'm sure people probably remember at the end of our last session, Ben had a goal in mind that he wanted to try to accomplish. So he's going to share that with us today.
So last time I was here, I talked about I wanted to finish my bicycle ride where I lost my leg on. And this July,
Well, people may not know that
Okay.
you lost your leg
Yes.
because you were hit by a truck when you were on the
Yes,
on the
I
bike
lost
ride.
my leg on the bicycle trip down in Indiana. So this July, on the day of my accident where I lost my leg, I went down to Indiana with Scott as a riding buddy, and I completed the ride. I never got to finish back in 2014. And it was a great feeling, but also now pushing me forward. I used to run 5Ks before I lost my leg. And now my next goal is to get my first 5K under my belt and then maybe try a marathon after that. And then even maybe a triathlon after that. We'll just see where the journey leads me.
Well, be careful if you talk about doing triathlons,
Oh.
because I know some guys that might try to hold you to that.
That's why I was careful when I spoke,
Right.
but we'll see where the journey leads. I mean, I
Right.
could at least do one and then done, saying, hey, I got one. under my
Exactly.
belt.
So for people who probably don't know, had you been on a bike since your accident before recently when you started training for this event?
This year, well, the month before my bicycle ride was the first time I ever got back on a bicycle.
So that presented different challenges, didn't it?
A whole different world of riding a bicycle, but honestly, once I got started, it was like riding a bicycle. Just a different way of starting off.
Yep.
So just don't give up.
So would you say that kind of that success of that event is what made you have the idea that you're like, hey, if I could do that, maybe I could get
Oh.
back to running? Like,
Very much so. And this group is great support and helping keep you motivated and to move on forward with the next goal in your life.
well, that's great. I know a lot of people have followed your story and they told me how motivating, you have been for them. So keep it up. Let's give Ben another
Yeah.
round of applause. I think that's
Thanks,
a great
Ben.
story, Ben.
Here, I can take it down.
Okay, so we'll kind of go around the room and if anyone else has anything they did this summer or something they want to do, you know,
let me say who you
share
are.
it with us or.
Oh, you don't have to come up here, Roger. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, it's on.
Name is Roger Tilley. I've been an amputee now for a little over 19 years. I figured I'd check out the new Step Up. I'm one of the old timers from the old Step Up program. So Dave was talking about it, and I'm actually in town for one.
Right.
So I do a lot of traveling. I retired. My wife's retired now. So we're just enjoying doing what we want to do.
Right. So, I mean, you kind of got back into bike riding.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Roger's been pretty active and avid and riding bikes, but I mean,
Oh, yeah. I've ridden two-wheel bikes quite a few years. Now I'm getting old. I cheated and went to an e-bike. Works out a little bit easier because when I take off, I'm not worried about falling now because I can put my foot on the pedal, get the acceleration, get a little going, get across the street and continue going. So.
and then Roger also, Bill, do you have the picture? So Roger also got to participate in an event this summer with us.
Oh, look at
And
that.
if you look up there, up in the top corner there, you can see Roger decided to jump off of a building.
Yeah.
What made you decide to jump off of a building?
Why not?
Was it on fire?
No. I still want to jump up. I still got to get you sponsored parachuting.
Parachuting?
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to try parachuting.
All right.
Yep.
As soon as Scott does it, then we'll talk.
Well, it sounds like you're not doing it.
Oh, come on. I'm thinking of an airplane. What could happen?
Right.
There's some things there's some things I'll do, but that's not one of them.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
A triathlon?
No,
I couldn't run when I had two good legs. What do I want to try
Casey
now?
said that Scott made him do a triathlon,
Oh.
so he's gonna make Scott skydive.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good to me.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's two dives.
You loved it.
All right. Thanks, Roger. Don, you don't, if you want to stay right here, you can stay right here
Thank
too.
you.
That's good.
I'm Dawn Overmeyer. I've been always Scott and Nate for 10 years now. 10 years. I broke my leg at the beginning or right about in the spring. So I was off and I broke my prosthetic leg. So that kind of put me back for a while and I'm still on a test socket, but close to getting my permanent leg. And so that's what I've been doing all summer.
How's your recovery been, Dawn? How are
It's
you?
been great, I think. I was 8 weeks back in my wheelchair. And but as soon as they said I could get up, because they did not cast my leg, they were afraid of how it might heal. So they just left it alone. And I think it healed well.
Mhm.
And as soon as we could get back in a test socket, we were back in a test socket. And I think it's been going great. This one is doing really well. I have my new shoes.
Nice.
That was a problem, get new shoes. They send me all the time to make sure I have new shoes on. And, but no, it's going really good and I'm anxious to get my leg and be on my way once again, so.
Back to California, right?
And yeah, we're going camping in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
And we'll be gone for about a month, just here and there. We bought a trailer this past year. That's how I broke my leg, was helping my husband back it in. Don't do that. Just about, he almost did. No, he didn't. But you know better. Don't step over an ice pile. It just doesn't work, But, so yeah, we're gonna go back camping.
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Lynn Bauer and I'm about the knee amputee and I have really done nothing. Yard work.
Right.
See if I can fall.
Well, that's a full-time job.
Yeah, go, help them.
Yeah.
Don't know how to get up, but I fell. I have to call the neighbors. You able to get me up?
I'm Casey. I'm a below the knee amputee. I'm the prosthetic technician at our Saginaw office, and this summer I mainly just made legs.
You did some bike riding.
I did some bike riding, but
Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah, I did that in the spring though. Or summer. I don't know. I did get a dog.
I'm Michelle. I don't like to say I lost my leg. It's not like I was walking to the mall, my leg just fell off. I had my leg removed in February. I got my first prosthetic in April. And this is my permanent socket that I'm now in. I decided I used to train for a marathon at Disney World 4 years ago before my leg started to go bad. And so I started to retrain for that. I joined Planet Fitness and I walk a mile and I'm almost up to 2 miles. So, and I just keep working. And I have an awesome shirt.
I'm Stan and I envy her. She's gotten a mile and going on 2 miles. I'm trying for a quarter mile. I had both my legs amputated in 19. Been on recovery since then. This summer, I got back into physical therapy, trying to get a little more stability, standing and walking. And also, I think last time I was here, I told you I got into kayaking. And so this summer I was able to load, unload under the water, reload back into the truck, and get back home all by myself. So I figured that was I'm pretty sandy and waterlogged, but I made it, and I'm hopefully going to get some legs that are buoyant.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm technician and political assistant at Scott's office in Saginaw. I used to work for Nate also. I lost my leg 36 years ago in a motorcycle accident. And it kind of got me into this profession. This summer I did more camping, more kayaking, and boating than I have in years. So work's been kind of scarce this summer, huh, Scott?
What's that?
Work has been kind of scarce this summer,
For him.
but you only
Oh,
go
for
around
him.
once.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say
Hi, I'm Dale Emery. Let's see, this summer, I know one thing, I had done it before, but I actually went into the lake swimming with my leg on, which was kind of cool. Many years ago, I mean, it was probably 10 years after I had my amputation was the first time that I was able to walk into a lake with my leg, which was a goal that I had to go swimming again, right, with my leg on.
right.
But this summer, so I had an opportunity to do that again. I've been an amputee since 1996. I've been pretty much coming to Bremer that whole time since then. My goals right now, I mean, this year I've actually started doing 2 or 3 miles of walking on it, try to do it on a daily basis. I know that a couple, maybe it's probably longer ago than I think. We did with Bremer sponsored a thing at the Crim to walk.
It's been longer than any of us want to
Yeah,
think
I know, it's
about.
probably been 10 years.
But it's getting there.
So we did that. Before I lost my leg, I was practicing on doing the Crim run, which has never happened. I would like to do that, but I'm getting older today. I'm not sure that that's really something that I need to do. I can run if I need to do it, but no, that's what I got. Life goes on, man.
I'm Dave. Excuse me. I've been with Bremer since 2017. That's when I lost my leg. I contacted Scott before I even had the operation, and been coming here ever since that. So
Yeah.
I didn't do much this summer. Cut grass, clean my gutters, but that's about it.
Well,
Yeah,
go
it's
back.
hard.
My name's Len Miller. It's not quite been a year. 2 more days, it'll be a year since my accident. So I'm set my goals high. I got my first temporary leg in 1st of December. January 27th, I went snowmobiling in UP, rode a couple hundred miles on my high country snowmobile. I didn't do no backcountry riding, but I rode the hard trail. Also this summer, I spent with my grandkids winding up ski ropes in the back of my pontoon, walking. And then the other goal I had was I did Crim. I walked the Michigan Mile in less than 20, actually a little over 27 minutes. So I set my goals high and I pushed myself, but I met Nate at my therapist place and these great people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
How about our online people? I don't know.
Yep, Brianna's gonna
So,
go.
Yep. You
Yeah,
want to
we're-
go ahead and Yep. Okay. So Mary, if you would what's that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Robin, actually, Robin, if you'd like to start by just kind of introducing yourself and, if you had any goals over the summer or if there were any big news, anything big happened.
If you have a goal you'd like to accomplish and you want to share
Yeah.
it with us, just
Sure. My name's Robin. I'm actually from Oregon, and I'm a above left leg amputee, and it's been 14 months since I chose to have it removed because of pain. And so over the summer, I'm still, you guys are doing so good. I mean, I'm still trying to learn how to walk. I'm having problems with balance and putting weight on it, and I'm having issues. So I just got a new knee about, 2 weeks ago. So I'm still dealing with that. So over the summer, I've just been trying to walk. That's all. So that's my goal, is to walk.
That's a big goal.
Yep.
It's a real good goal.
Yeah.
what type of knee did you get?
Well, they're trying different ones. The first one was a sea leg, and that seemed so heavy. And now I have the Plie 3. Yes, I
Right.
can't say that word. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's the one that they're trying now. So that one seemed better than the sea leg to me. I think it's a little lighter weight. And I don't know.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to get you guys' opinion of what do you think about that leg? Because the opinion that my prosthetist gives me is just they're all the same. Well,
They're certainly not all the same.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, every one of them is going to be different. And maybe I'll defer. Chris, do you want to give any feedback? I mean, so, every knee is going to be, there's going to have different features. It's going to operate a little differently. And it's about finding, which one works the best for you. Does anybody that is an above the knee amputee want to? Yeah. So what he said is a good point. I don't know if you can hear him or not, but it's awesome that they're letting you try different ones. That really is the best thing.
Brianna,
And I mean,
can you give the mic?
kind of how you feel, what your perception is going to be more important than what we think. It really is. I mean, we think the sea leg is a really good component. Maybe I haven't had as much clinical success with a plie as I have with a sea leg, but that doesn't mean that I don't have people that use it. If that's the one, if we do side-by-side comparisons and they say, you know what, this one feels better to me and I can watch and I don't see anything that makes it look like it's unsafe or any reasons to kind of discourage using it, then that's a great choice for you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Nate kind of said everything that I would say. The important thing, and Chris said this earlier, I don't know if you can hear him without the mic, but yeah, as long as they're letting you try things out, that's what's really important there.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked if I could instead of just, because this is what probably I'll be stuck with for a lot of years. I don't know how often you can get a new knee.
Kind of 3 to 5 years is a general rule of thumb.
Yeah. Well, I want to be walking like within the next year or sooner. So,
Right.
okay, thank you.
So what do you feel like are the biggest obstacles for you to walk?
Well, I don't know. I'm scared of falling. The physical therapist says I don't put the weight on there enough. He has me stand on scales, and I on my right leg, I have so much more weight than on my left. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. Believe me, I want to do it. I'm tired of sitting in a wheelchair. So.
Really, confidence is
The big
more
factor, yeah.
important than training per se. I've been above knee amputee for 36 years. And I can't relate sometimes to some of my patients because I was 22 years old when it happened and I was fearless. So
sure.
I can understand the falling, the being apprehensive, because I've never really had that. Because falling is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as you accept that when you use a prosthesis that you're gonna fall, learning how to fall is important. You can ask Stan. Stan, you it happens. It happens.
Anybody around.
But really,
Yeah, I mean,
shifting,
they never
shifting-
taught me how to fall or anything. So, because I don't want to fall. I'm 66 years old. I don't want to fall and break anything.
Yeah, we don't get up the same as we did when we were younger. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So have you fallen? I mean, have you had a fall already?
No.
Is by chance? No. Okay.
No.
I just, because I'm asking the question because, you know, when we do our training, we go to great measures to prevent people from falling because that's one of the biggest things that can affect people's confidence. So I just wondered if you've already had, you know, sometimes you get to people, they've had 1 or 2 falls and it just takes a lot of time to regain that confidence. But, you know, so different knee and different system. And some, you know, we often tell people sometimes that, you know, well, not sometimes, it takes 2 years to maximize what you can do on a prosthetic limb. So that first year of strength training and that type of thing, and you're probably in that phase where you just kind of need to do things and regain that confidence. So I wouldn't say where you are is that you're really that far off the mark from where you are. And it's something we see quite a bit, but I'd say just don't let it stop you and keep going. And the more success you have with the prosthesis, hopefully that confidence will come.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Do you mind if we keep asking you a couple other questions about?
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You know, so you said that you're above the knee.
Yes.
How long is your limb? How much limb do you have left? Is it short? Is it long?
I'm only 5 foot tall, so it's, you know, they went above the knee. So it's, I mean,
Right.
I've seen a lot shorter ones. You know, it's just
How
above
does
my
it
knee.
compare to your other thigh? When you put it next to your other knee, does it go halfway? Does it go past halfway?
It probably goes past halfway, I think.
So it
Yeah.
goes
So you
past
got a
halfway.
decent size residual.
And that's just kind of one of the things that I don't want to give you bad advice. If, you know, if your limb was very short, I want to tell you different things, but it's not very short. So, I mean, I think what we would probably want to do is give you some real basic things that you can use. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, fear, one thing is it's a protection for us. We use fear to keep ourselves safe. But when we're doing new things, sometimes fear can actually make us a little less safe. Being apprehensive and not being confident can have us actually lose control of the situation and actually put us into a situation where we're in more danger of falling. So what we can do is we can kind of target a few exercises that we can have Brianna, if we have your contact, we can send you a list of a few things that you can do at home so that you can kind of think about control of the prosthesis. Instead of it kind of reshape how you're thinking. Don't think about falling. Think about being in control, because control is what keeps you from falling.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So I think we'd be happy to kind of send some like heel strikes, pull throughs, some simple basic exercises. And sometimes physical therapists think that they're too basic and too simple, so they kind of skip over them. And they don't, because they don't want to waste time. But really those simple basics are what are going to give you the most benefit at the very beginning.
Okay, yeah, I'd appreciate that.
What type of assistive device are you using right now?
What type of a what?
Assistive device. Like
Assistive?
a cane, walker?
Oh,
Like a cane or a walker.
Yeah, I'm using a walker.
Yep.
Okay.
So how much do you walk with the walker?
Not enough.
Yep.
Not enough, because it's
Are you
the
Go ahead.
problem too is if I walk a little bit, like let's say 10 steps, my foot starts turning in. And so I have to stop and readjust my leg. And that's what the prosthetist said, just stop and readjust your leg. Well, hopefully someday I could walk a mile. I don't want to be stopping and adjusting my leg all the time. So that's kind of an issue with me.
Right. If you can only take 10 steps and you have to adjust your leg, you really need some adjustments to your socket. And I was going to get into that. I wanted to ask first about but because you mentioned earlier that you felt that the C leg was heavy, which that doesn't, and again, like Nate said, but a lot of times if your suspension or the socket fit isn't good, things can feel a lot heavier just because we don't. And I was wondering how much control you had of that socket. So I was going to ask some questions actually going there. But when you kind of led with, when you take it 10 steps, your legs, I mean, have you discussed that with the prosthetist?
Yes, he says I'm not walking right, but to me, it's like, the thing you put on, it's rubber on the inside, it's slippery on the outside. And then the inside of the prosthesis is kind of slippery. So to me, that slips. I just got a new one, but he's blaming the way I'm walking. That's why the foot's turning in. But I'm really concentrating when I do walk to keep things straight, to keep my body straight, to keep my, what I'm supposed to do. So I really don't believe it's all me.
Well, I mean, those things may seem slippery, but what it really is, you got to tighten that. Like, has he put any buildups in your socket to try to tighten that up?
No, no, and I don't know but at the bottom of the socket, it's really tight on my legs, but the top of the socket, I can actually put my hand in it. It's way too big, but he says, oh no, it has to be that size. So I don't know.
So putting your hand in it, I just want to say that there are times when you want to, if you ever evaluate that, you want to make sure your weight is really all the way on the prosthesis and you're standing on it. And then if you can put your hand in it, a lot of times with above knee the prosthesis, if you're sitting down or if you're standing, in a certain position, there are times where your body can shift. And even on a well-fitting socket, it may seem like, wow, I can stick my hand in here. But so that's not always the best judge of things. But if it is fitting, if it always feels loose up top, then that's probably a big reason why it wants to spin. And then that spinning kind of leads to not being confident in it. And it's a cycle, right? It all kind of one thing leads to the next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was wondering about the fit and questions you might want, if it's too tight at the bottom, maybe is it stopping you from going down far enough to where maybe that's why there could be numerous reasons, but I would maybe when you talk to your prosthetist, maybe really ask some questions and focus on the fit, because kind of how you led with the weight of it and then talking about the, instability. It sounds like you might have, that if we could, maybe there's some fitting issues that might help you gain the confidence.
And then the other thing is if you feel like if you feel like that's something that you're communicating to your prosthetist and you're not really getting results, remember that as the patient, you have a choice in where you go to get your prosthesis. So maybe that means you should go get a second opinion from someone else. Maybe have a fresh set of eyes look at the circumstances, and see if they have the same opinion or if they see other things that could be factors in it. Talk to your physical therapist about the problems. Maybe if your physical therapist or your doctor were to communicate with your prosthetist, that might yield better results than if you feel like you're trying to communicate and you're not getting your message through. Try speaking with your doctor about it or your physical therapist, see if they reached out, if it got somewhere different.
Okay.
I'll try that. Options, the places that you can go with it.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody earlier today and they're working with someone else. And I mean, communication is so crucial as far as the success of your fit and the plan, and making sure that those lines of communication are open in a way that they're also successful. That's important. So I would keep trying to address that so that you either, hopefully find out, you can, get what you need out of that, or maybe end up going somewhere else. But you've got to be comfortable with the person that you're working with and feel that they're addressing all of your needs. So,
okay.
Did someone over here want to weigh in? I didn't know if I thought I heard somebody say something at one point. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, anything else?
No, I don't want to take up anybody else's time.
Okay.
No, I'm
nice
good.
talking to you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I see Patricia Higgins. Patricia, I don't know if you'd like to to introduce yourself and maybe let us know who you are, where you're from?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, sure
We can
can.
hear you. Yep.
Hi, my name's Patty. I'm from Naples, Florida, and I am very, very similar to exactly what Robin said. I'm about a year out. I had a hysterectomy and some complications after that, and I'm a left above the knee amputee. And I relate to every single thing she was saying. I'm in the exact same situation. I am walking with forearm crutches, and I can walk a fairly good distance, but I can't get off the crutches for whatever reason.
Okay. What type of, are you in your preparatory or your definitive prosthesis at this point?
Definitive.
And
it's
how
an
long?
ALUX.
Okay.
A what?
An ALEX.
Okay.
Yep.
How long have you been in the definitive?
4 months.
At that point, when you went from the preparatory to the definitive, what were the reasons that they moved on to the definitive? Were you feeling confident in how you were walking at that time, or?
I guess so. I don't really know. It was one of those things where they just did it and it was okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was asking, how did you feel about your confidence in the prosthesis at that time?
I felt okay. Like Robin, I'm very afraid of falling. I did have a fall after my amputation while I was in the hospital and fractured my right ankle. So I do have a huge fear of falling.
Yeah.
And like you were both saying, I think sometimes that makes my progress worse because of my fear.
Right. Okay. I'm just kind of,
yep.
I mean, how do you feel like the prosthetic socket fits?
I feel like it fits good. I have a BOA so I can tighten it if need be. And I do feel like the prosthetic feels good. When I use the forearm crutches, I feel like I put too much of my weight on the crutches rather than my prosthetic or my leg, because I've attempted a couple of times to walk with the one crutch, and I can do that for about 10 steps. And then I just kind of get anxious and feel like I have to start grabbing to hold on to things.
Okay. So when you do the one crutch, what side do you have the crutch on? Like, what side is your prosthetic limb? Left.
So yeah, so I use the crutch in my right arm, my right hand.
Okay, so you're doing that. Are you in physical therapy right now?
Not anymore. I was in therapy. The therapist said my walking was great and just kind of continue to do it, which it is okay, like I said, with the 2 forearm crutches, but you're just so limited when you have the crutches. You can't carry anything, you can't do anything, you can just walk.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things that I would suggest is, speaking with your doctor about going back to physical therapy.
Okay.
Because changing assistive devices and, not relying on an assistive device is a reason that you can qualify for therapy.
Okay.
So that's something that's number one that I would definitely suggest is to kind of speak to your doctor, find out if your insurance will cover more therapy. If so, then absolutely. The other thing I want to get back to is you said you can take about 10 steps and then you start to lose confidence. So
with
my
the one
suggestion would
crutch,
be,
yeah.
right. Yep. With the one crutch. So my suggestion is do that as often as possible. Take those 10 steps, pick the left one up and take those 10 steps. Do that as much as you possibly can. And then go back to using both. But I mean, even if you can get 12 steps, 15 steps, it might feel like a very slow process, but along the way, keep track of that and watch your progress. So that's the first thing I would say is if you're getting 10 steps, do 10 steps as often as you possibly can. Because if you do that, you'll notice that that number starts to grow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean, I like your suggestion, and I was kind of thinking along the same lines as we really just want to find a way to measure things, and then, you can keep track of any progress. 10 steps to 12 steps, you'll notice that if you're, but just keep doing what you're confident in, because a lot of times I mean, what we're learning to do on these prosthetic limbs is adapt. So it's repetition, repetition. I mean, it sounds like you're comfortable with your socket fit and a lot of the components. You sound like you related to Robin, but in some ways we were talking earlier about if people have a fall early on, how that's really hard to get over.
Right.
You just might be in that. I mean, it sounds to me like that's where you are. It seems like you have confidence in the people that are working with you. So in your case, just repetition, like Nate suggested, is going to probably be the best thing to help you get over that.
Okay, thank you.
And then maybe changing, like if you go back to physical therapy, are those lost strand crutches the best thing for you right now? Maybe switching to a cane, trying different assistive devices.
Right.
You kind of hit on that a little bit. I think that's a good suggestion as well. So.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you.
Close, we have got the light in front. I can't see the other names. The light.
So next is Janelle. Janelle's joined us here today. Do you want to share anything about your experience with us today? Is Janelle there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We can move on to Marianne.
All right. Janelle, if you change your mind, I don't know, Brina, are you able to communicate with people? If she wants to join us, why don't you ask Marianne if she'd like to communicate with us before we call her?
Yes,
You're there, Marianne?
I am.
Hi,
I
thanks for
am.
joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I had a right below the knee amputation in December, and I finally
Okay.
got to test these lock and pin socket in March. I had some complications. Then he had to recast me and cast me in and put me in a suction type, not with a sleeve, because we tried the sleeve and I don't know what I did wrong, but took it off that day and I had 4 huge blisters on it. So he said, no, we're not doing the sleeve no more. So this is one that you push the button and let the air out, or, to get it to suction. But it makes this horrible sound. I mean, I hate to say this. It sounds like I stepped on my dog or something. I mean, what can I do about that noise? I mean, the squealing. I mean, what am I doing wrong?
So I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
When you tried the suspension sleeve, when you tried the suction with the sleeve, were the blisters, were they up on your thigh where the sleeve is, or were they down on your limb inside the socket?
On my limb.
On your limb inside the socket. So I'd say, first off, it sounds like that's probably not something that you necessarily did wrong.
No.
Maybe, I mean, there are things that you can do throughout the day to manage the fit of your prosthesis, right? You can change socks, you can do those things, but most likely 4 big blisters after one day means that socket wasn't fitting correctly. So,
I mean, blisters are caused from movement inside of the
Right,
socket.
right.
Were they at the bottom of your limb?
They were, yes.
So
And so
probably if there was a
even a
void
lack
at the
of contact
lack
there,
of sound, I
right.
mean, first thing I think
Right.
is lack of distal
Right.
contact. Yeah.
So that's one thing. I mean, even with the style that you have right now, adding a sleeve to it as a secondary means of suspension might help to make a better suction seal, because when you use those with a below the knee limb, using those liners that have the ribs on them and get suction, that's something that works and people use it. But when you go through your range of motion, your limb changes shape a lot. So as you bend your knee, as you're sitting, as those things happen, there's a lot of change in your leg. And even a small gap between that rib and the socket can let air in. So every time it makes that squeaking sound, that means that you have lost suction and that there's new air to push out of the socket.
Did you have well, I mean, is that the type that you have? Do you have like a seal that's attached to your liner or something that?
It
you've got to be
is like the ribs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you wear a liner with the first type you tried with the sleeve?
I did.
Okay. Because sometimes too, if the liner's too big, I mean, there can be a lot of things that can cause, but blisters are caused from movement,
Right.
not suspension sleeves. So
Right.
that's, I mean, just so you know, that the sleeve didn't have anything to do with it. That just.
For quieting that down, I mean, adding a sleeve to the outside, it might be that simple. That may give you the secondary seal that just kind of prevents the air from coming in. And if there's no air that comes in, then when you move, there's no air to expel, so the sound won't happen. If that's not the case and that doesn't do it, then sometimes there's things that your prosthetist could do to put like some sort of like a noise muffler or something to dampen the sound on the outside of your socket. There are things you can do, but a noise like that would be something that definitely I would suggest going to talk to your prosthetist about it, because it indicates that there's probably a problem with the way that it's fitting.
Yeah, that's it sounds like there's just, I'm going to ask a question by chance. The socket that you had that you wore with the sleeve, you're not wearing the same socket that you wore with that system now,
No.
you're casted for, okay.
No.
Because if we thought, I mean, and you guys we're giving you hypotheticals based on information that we're getting without really knowing for sure. But like I said, it from what we hear, it seems like there could have been a void at the bottom of the socket. We don't know for sure, but yeah, we just want to make sure that you were fitted with a new socket, and that we're not talking about the same one.
Right.
So, so how does the socket fit? Are you comfortable in the prosthetic socket and system that you have now?
It seems fine. I mean, I walk fine. My driveway is kind of steep, and I was able to walk down to the mailbox a few minutes ago and walk back up. I don't know whether my confidence is there as much as it was with the pin lock system than it is with the suction. But I mean, I'm walking fine. I just and I'm trying. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to do it, but I was going to do a 5K walk on October 11th. But then I was doing the treadmill at home and had a little accident. And yes, I fell. But it's like when I fall, I just get back up. I mean, you know, I did break my right arm, but left arm. And so I haven't been walking as much as I should, but I was up to probably about a mile a day. And I would do it in intervals. So I may not be able to make that goal on October 11th, but I'll try.
Right. Very good. You know, I know you were talking earlier about your walking in distance, and even when you get back into running or just walking, interval training is really a great way to, you'd be surprised when you're doing interval training, like you're saying, when you actually piece it together, how much endurance you actually have or what you can it's a great way to increase distance and gain confidence and all those different types of things. So, I mean, it's very unfortunate that you had the fall and you broke your arm, but it sounds like really that you're doing really well. For you got your first prosthesis in April. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For where you're at this stage of the game. I mean, I wouldn't change a whole lot as far as the noise.
I'd say don't give up on that suspension sleeve. Don't think that was, you know, it doesn't sound like that to me clinically. I would say that's not the cause of blisters. If you said that it happened on your thigh where the suspension sleeve touches, then yes, that is the cause of the sleeve. But if it's down on your limb inside the socket, then it's not that suspension sleeve causing the problem. So,
well, I'm just going to give you something to think about, Marianne. And like I said, for the most part, it sounds like you're doing really well. So I don't want to, you know, put doubt in the system that you have, but you did mention something about confidence. And I would say, if you feel like at any point, if you're going longer, that the prosthesis is going to fall off, because usually people feel more confident with suction suspension than even the pin because you have more linkage. But with the type that you have, as opposed to the sleeve, you don't have as much linkage in there. So if it's one of these issues where the longer distance you go with the leg, you start to feel like you're slipping in there or something like that, that would be a reason to consider a sleeve. But like I said, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that your whole system isn't working well for you overall.
Right.
I'm just going to give you, these are areas to think of because you're still early in this. You might be a lot more active 6 months from now. And as you increase your activity, that could be something that you'd want to reintroduce to your care because it's going to help, help you as you're more active. Because it sounds to me like you're pretty active already. So, is that the case though? When you mentioned that you you're not as confident in that as the pin, do you feel like the longer distance you go, that maybe you're getting more movement with the suction, or not really?
I
Is
don't
it pretty
really
consistent?
think so. I just think that
Okay.
when I'm walking, if like a car or something coming down the road, if I turn, I feel like I lose my balance a little bit. And I guess it's the same thing if fear of fall, but I can't go on thinking I'm going to fall because I've just got to learn how to fall correctly when I do fall.
Is it possible you just find yourself out doing more things at this point? You happen to be in suction and you weren't out as much when you were in the pin at that time?
Probably so.
Yeah. I'm just trying to dissect that because yeah, I think you're probably just getting more active and you're finding yourself with different challenges and entering the community and doing more community ambulation, but those are all good things. So, I mean, again, like we mentioned earlier, repetition will hopefully help you with gaining that confidence moving forward. So,
oh, by the way, Scott, you said you wouldn't jump out of a plane. My son for the last 2 days is over in Europe, and he's jumped with the American people, the German, and tomorrow he's jumping with the Belgium. And so
ask him to jump once for me so that people won't have to quit. I'll say I've already got mine in, and then I won't have to have people
he
bug me about
probably
it.
would. He probably would.
Yeah, it sounds like he would. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He's jumped at least I think 14 times, if not more.
Wow.
So, but yeah. So that's I had to mention that since you don't want to jump.
Well, and since jumping out of a plane seems to be the thing, but I'm going to use that as an example of, the first time we talk about how repetition creates confidence, first time somebody's standing out at an open thing of that plane with just a parachute, they might think, hey, this is a little crazy and I don't know if I want to do it and I'm a little nervous, but probably after 14 times, he's probably a lot more confident than somebody might be on their first time. So, I mean, if I had...
That's what they do. They say 1, 2, and they tap you on the back and you better be out that door. So
I think the first couple of times you jump, don't you have to do a tandem jump where you're like somebody else is on your back? And so is he at the point where he's doing individual jumps now?
Oh, he's been doing individuals.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
He never had to do tandem because he did
If you
airborne
take courses. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've just seen with people.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really, as you guys can tell, I'm not really
You
doing a
haven't
lot of
researched it?
investigating and research about how skydiving works. So,
all right.
Well,
Thank
thanks,
y'all
Mary.
so much.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Okay. And
What is it?
does Donna want to join us? Oh, okay. Okay. So, well, that's it for the introductions. We've got about,
Yeah, we'll take a 10-minute break.
yeah, I was
here.
going to say,
Yep.
this is where we usually do a break and, kind of,
When we come, we're gonna take a 10-minute break.
we're going to
here.
reconvene and do some exercises. All right. Great.
All right, guys, we're gonna get ready to start back up here. Anybody that knows Scott and I know we love talking, so we love that first half. But the one thing that we love even more than talking
Is
is to get up and move. Yeah. So second half of the thing, we're gonna be up and we're gonna be moving. Well, we do love us talking. I don't
Yeah, I was
know.
gonna say,
We
the
might
first
love us
part-
talking even more than moving, but we do like to move.
Yeah, we
So,
do.
so we're gonna get up and moving here. So we're gonna want everybody. We're gonna stand up. Anybody that's uncomfortable with standing is able to kind of do this from their chair. We'll show modifications of all these exercises that we don't have to stand up, or at least for most of them here. But before we start really moving a lot, we're gonna just kind of get our bodies warmed up, and we're just gonna kind of go. We're gonna go through some stretches here. Anybody that's been through this before knows that I like to start with the kind of the head and neck. So we're gonna bring our left ear to our left shoulder, reaching our fingertips down to the ground. Not straining for the ground, but letting gravity keep our shoulders down. We're just gonna hold that left ear at our left shoulder. We take a deep breath in. And on the way out, we're gonna roll our head forward and bring our right ear to our right shoulder, focusing on keeping our fingers reaching for the ground. And we're gonna breathe back in. And on the way out, we're going to go back to the left. Then we're going to kind of one more deep breath in. And then back to the right. Then we're just going to kind of shake our arms and let our necks get relaxed a little bit. We're going to reach our arms out to the side. Yep, step out. And we're just going to make some little circles going forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Most of the stretches that we do right now are kind of moving stretches. When we go to exercise and stuff like that, we don't want to do touch our toes. A lot of that. Actually doing like static stretches like that actually take away a little bit of performance. So we're just kind of warming things up. We're going to reach up to the sky and we're going to have our hands scrape the back of the room, bringing them down. Like we just woke up and got out of bed. You can go, "Ugh." That just feels good. And we're going to reach across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach that same arm up. Grab the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're gonna do that same thing with the other arm. Reach across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then back up and grab the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're just going to kind of get our legs, start to move our legs. We focus a lot on our upper body because our arms and keeping our shoulders loose and making sure our arm swing is a really important part of balance and gait. We're going to kind of slowly get those knees up higher and higher. Yep, good. And then we're going to bring them out to the sides.
Do the Cowboys.
Yep. And then back. Yep, that's a good. I mean, Roger's showing a pretty good adaptation of kind of some hip stretches. If you're not, that balance on that prosthetic side is pretty tough. So we can kind of do some hip circles here. And this is actually a pretty good weight shifting exercise. Roger, you didn't bring your hula hoop. It's not a real hula hoop, but I don't know what to call it. Besides the hula hoop, he brought this thing to the office. And I mean, 2 minutes with that, and that was a core workout. It was, yeah. Now I said we're not going to do a ton of stretching, but we are going to kind of spread our legs out and we're going to kind of come down to the ground, not to where it hurts, just to where we can kind of start to feel stuff stretch. If you can touch the ground, great. If you can't, kind of rest your hands on your knees, kind of just find that spot, and then breathe in. And on the way out, try to stretch just a little bit deeper. One more deep breath in. On the way out, shift over to the right. Deep breath in. And then shift over to the left. Big breath. And then back to the middle. From the middle, we're going to have a nice strong back, and we're going to look up first and then raise up. Nobody's going to hurt their lower back on this. We're going to kind of lift our legs here. If you need to kind of grab a chair to help with balance. Good. All right. Now, the start of our exercises, we're going to actually start in the chair here. So everybody have a seat. Now, anybody that's been with us for a while knows that we've talked a lot about core and about how important having a strong core is. Now, sometimes that means crunches, sometimes that means doing planks, but it doesn't always mean those things. What I'm doing right now, what Scott's doing right now, we're demonstrating a core exercise just by kind of finding ourselves in this upright posture in the chair with our backs not touching the chair, feet on the ground, and arms crossed, arms at the side. It doesn't really matter, but what we're going to try to do is hold this for about 30 seconds to a minute. This is a great exercise to do at home when you're sitting and watching TV or something. How long are commercials? 30 seconds, right? Well, a commercial breaks about 2.5 minutes, but each commercial is about 30 seconds. And those are longer.
Yeah, it seems like or they're that boring.
No, that's true. But the idea is, if you're sitting there, try to sit up through the duration of an entire commercial. See if you can make it. If that's not too hard, if that's pretty easy, see if you can make it for a whole commercial break. When the TV show comes back on, give yourself a little break, relax. Next time the commercials come on, do it again. That right there, that's the 30 minutes. You've actually gotten a workout in. After the point, we always like to say, if you keep getting advanced and you're like, oh, those commercial breaks, those aren't very hard. Try to do it while the show's on and take your breaks during the commercials. Then try to flip flop that. That gets to be pretty hard.
I mean, Nate and I were looking at some sitting core stuff, and we kind of went back to this because way back when we started Step Up, this was one of the ones we would always say, like, if you're watching television and then, get through the whole commercial segment. And then it got to a point where people would say, oh, I'm actually sitting this way through the whole show. And then I rest during the commercials. And then before you know it, what's that? You should be able to sit like this for a half hour.
The ultimate goal, the end goal is to be able to sit for 30 minutes like this. But that's not easy. That's a hard thing to do. But by the time you've done it for about 10 minutes, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, okay, the muscles are actually doing something. I'm not just sitting here. I'm working to sit here. You have to start engaging your abs. You have to start engaging stuff in your back to kind of keep that upright posture.
So much what you're trying to do when you're standing on the prosthetic limb and have your balance, your core is such a big part of that, but that's through physical therapy and things like that. It's often, we would talk to physical therapists and they'd say, we'd love to work on core more and some of these other things, but because therapy is so limited, they have, a certain number of visits just to get you to a functional level where you're walking with a walker. Well, what's happening is you're not really using your core. If you want to walk without an assistive device, that type of thing, you've got to have a strong core to be able to support yourself. So,
think about when you stand, you need this is the position that the top half of your body is standing, right? If you can have that part strong already, that's one less thing to have to worry about once you are standing. All right. I don't know how long that was. I didn't set a timer, but that's been quite a while. How's everybody doing? Pharmacy one.
So the side effects are
right. Right. So what we're going to do next is we're going to stay in the chair. Now we're going to sit back and we're going to do some chair crunches. So there's a few modifications. Number one is feet flat on the ground, hands here, and just picking up. Number two is the way Scott's doing it. So you see what Scott's doing. He's not actually bringing his feet to the ground. He's extending. So the way he's doing it, it's a lot harder. And we didn't start counting, but we'll start counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where'd everybody feel that? Where did you feel that one? Yep. So, I mean, that's when we start doing that, we have our abs, our core's engaged, but there's a lot of hip flexors involved in that too. So I figured people would say they're feeling it kind of up here. So the next one we're going to do, same idea. This time, everybody's going to kind of sit up and put their hands here. And we're going to do crossovers. So we're going to bring the elbow to the opposite knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, I mean, you guys can see just doing these things, we don't even have to stand up. Doing these things, if we did 3 sets of those, I mean, it would only take about 5 or 10 minutes. That's a comprehensive core workout right there without even having to get off the couch. Well, it's balance. I mean, balance comes from our core a lot. I mean, so the majority of the power generated for walking comes from our core. When we start to run, when we start doing those things, the biomechanics change a little bit, and we do start to generate, power from our legs, especially down below our knees. But when we're walking, everything from about here down is a spring that's just taking energy and transferring energy. It's a really efficient spring. It's a great spring.
I have another question. Is your core just your stomach muscles?
Absolutely not. So core really kind of goes from about here to there. I mean, and I mean, and core is it's a layman's term, right? There's no actual biological definition of what is the core, but our stabilizing muscles, they really start kind of from here, and then they go to maybe just above our knees. So our hips, our lower back, all these muscles, even kind of some up into our chest, are important for all that stuff. So we'll kind of let's do one more set of that. Those were good. Let's do one more set. We're gonna start with the crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so what I want people to do is check in tomorrow, and I want people to check in tomorrow and tell us where you're sore. Where do you feel what muscles do you feel when you wake up tomorrow? Let's do the crossovers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 2 sides on this one. 14.
I was thinking that earlier.
15,
You gotta do 20 to really have 10.
16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good.
21. 22.
All right. So the next phase that we're going to get into is, so we always like to do our exercises in kind of 3 phases. We like to do core, we like to do strength, and we like to do balance. So we just did core. The next thing we're going to work on is some strength. This is where probably people will need some spotters and they will need some assistance. We're still going to use the chairs though. So who here hears the word squat and says, I can't do that? Who here? I mean, yep, a lot of people. Well, I have something to say. Every single one of you right now are in a position where you've done a squat. You can't get from where I am right now to right here without doing a squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to do chair squats. We're going to use the chair as kind of a tool to help to kind of, there's really no reason to do squats that are beyond this. This is, for what we're trying to accomplish, for what we're doing, this is perfect. So we're going to start by standing up, and there's going to be some modifications here. So anybody that doesn't feel like you can control yourself all the way down to the chair, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called a 3/4 squat. We're going to go as low as we feel comfortable and then come back up. As low, what we don't want to do is start putting strain on our knees. If we start to feel strain on our knees, that's low enough. That's okay. My muscles are engaged. I'm using my muscles to control this. This is far enough to do it. Anybody that wants to kind of to work lower, what we're going to do is go all the way down to the chair and actually have a seat. Sit down and then back up. The more advanced technique is going to be to come down until you feel the chair, not ever actually supporting your weight in the chair and then coming back up. So that's by far the hardest one. But you see, even I don't have a prosthesis on. What did I do with my feet to do that?
Right.
What did I do? I got my feet my heels just outside shoulder width, and I've got my toes pointed out. So I'm coming down to the chair and then coming back up. So I want everybody to try to do maybe 5 to 10 of these to tolerance. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with doing it where you sit all the way down in the chair and then coming back up. That's great. That's great. Michelle, that's good. What you're doing right there, serious. I'm not kidding. That what you did right there, that is a 3/4 squat. Do those right there. Yep. Keep going right to that comfort zone and then come back up. So just try to keep those muscles engaged. Try to really focus on those quadriceps and pushing through with them.
Because here's the thing, what have we been saying all day? Repetition breeds confidence.
Yes.
You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Ballet classes, okay? I have absolutely no breaks whatsoever. When I was 16, I asked my dad, can I take ballet classes again? Because my best friend was. And he was like, why would I piss away that kind of money again? I'm not peaceful at all.
Well, so then I've got
when you were in ballet, did you do isn't this like a plie?
You don't mind being put on the spot, do you? Okay. So what I want you to do, Michelle, is you're not thinking about doing a squat. Take your arms and fold them across here. Can you sit down in the chair? And I got the chair. Sit down. All you gotta do is sit down. Even if you fall into the chair, I've got the chair. You're right here. You're good. Yep, good. That's good. Keep going. There you go. Awesome. Now can you stand up from there in the same way? Try. Have you tried? Try. I'm gonna assist. I'm gonna do some assist. You got it. Now nose over toes. So lean forward, 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 then up. Then up. Good. Good.
Now keep your arms out. Now go down again. You know,
You're good.
Widen your stance and get your knees out a little bit more.
There you go.
You had a pretty narrow base. Okay, there you go. Ready? Go ahead.
There you go. I didn't even help you that time. Oh.
Well, let's not worry about, like I said, repetition breeds confidence.
You don't be sorry. Yeah.
But see, if you work on those 3/4 squats and really work on positioning your feet, because when you were doing them earlier, you had them pretty narrow. Could you feel the difference?
Yeah.
So now go back to doing the 3/4 and just do this.
So you want when you're doing this, Michelle, you want to think about driving through the heel of the prosthesis. So keep your weight through the heel. Yep.
You don't want to get up on your toes so that you're losing your balance. The reason you have it out, see how mine stays flat?
Good. There you go.
Yeah, you went lower.
Great. Yeah, you went lower. Great.
What do you need?
Nice. Oh, fantastic.
But as you get stronger, Yeah.
Right.
But as you get
Yeah, that's
stronger,
practice.
you're gonna find that confidence is gonna come too, because you'll be able to support yourself.
So if you're at home, if you want to try this at home, a great place to try it is your kitchen sink. Because usually your kitchen sink is anchored to the wall pretty well,
And
right?
you can
Don't use a table, don't use something that you're gonna pull. But your kitchen sink is real good. Put a chair right up next to your kitchen sink. You can hold on, you can put your hands right on the edge of that sink, and you can use it for as much support as what you need. Yep. And so that's just a great way to practice it. And I mean,
I am gratified that you came after me, so I can offer it once again.
okay. Does anybody have any questions about the squats? How does everybody feel about doing those after trying them? Do they feel more in the realm of being possible than when I say go ahead and do a squat? Does anybody else want us to kind of look at how they're doing them or go through one-on-one? Does everybody feel pretty good? So,
Well, no.
so we're going to take a second to demonstrate the next exercise here, so everybody can kind of see what we're getting at.
These are simple. You guys will love it.
So,
Okay.
here, let's move sideways here so they can see what's happening.
Let me do the one assist so
Okay,
they can
sure,
see
yeah,
everything. Does that make
So this is more the balance side of things here, but there's still
we're getting into weight shifting.
and weight shifting. So, but what does balance require? Strength. Well, balance requires standing up, but it also requires strength. Actually, balance doesn't require standing up. I can balance pretty good laying down.
So remember when we started last spring in the session, and we did the thing with identifying the muscles and where we are in gait, where we're using the muscles on our heel, and then to go to little toe and then big toe as we step through. Just raise your hand if you remember that. Okay. So the muscle groups that we're going to be using to do this exercises are the same. So I don't know if you want to explain what I'm doing while I demonstrate it, or.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cue Scott by saying up, up,
So
up.
as I go up, I'm really firing those muscles that are driving that heel down into the ground. Okay.
And then I'm going to say over, over, over. And as I do that,
I'm really feeling, remember, as we go to the big toe, okay, those muscles are engaged.
that's a little
that whole
toe. You're going to go
time.
to the little toe.
Did I
as you-
say, I
yeah.
meant, yeah.
He meant to say little toe. That's good. So he's just, and then I say down. And as he goes down to touch the cone,
That's where those
that's
muscles
where he's
shift
going to
from the little
shift
toe
onto
to
from the
big
little
toe.
toe to the big toe.
So we don't want to do this. This exercise isn't done like this. Okay. It's done slow on purpose. So as Nate's saying up, up, over, 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 down, that's because we really want to spend time engaging those muscles. It's not the quicker you do it, the better. It's the slower you do it, the more difficult it is.
And then so what Scott, the actual way to do the exercise is to have one hand on a chair
But I
on
want
both
you guys to
sides.
be able to see what was happening.
Even though this is a balance exercise, it's a one-legged balance exercise on your prosthesis. So having those 2 points of touchdown can really help you to focus on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to drive through your limb in contact with the socket to use the right muscles.
And when you're using like the chair or whatever, you're using for an assistive device, you can get so much support. If I just have my fingertips, like if I try to do this without support, it's pretty difficult for me. Okay. You got to balance, and we're holding it. We want you to hold. Yeah. I mean, you see me moving around. If I have just my fingers on this chair, just like this here, I have all the support in the world. It makes all the difference. So, I mean, you should just be able to put your fingertips down.
Yep. If you need to use a little more support, that's okay. But I mean, so don't feel bad if you're saying, wow, I have to put my fingers on the chair. That's what the exercise is. So
everybody wants to grab a couple chairs. We've got cones here, and we'll try to get everybody to kind of take.
Yeah, good.
You guys have enough cones or do we need more
I'll
cones
take a
over
couple.
here?
I'll take a few. Sweet, thanks.
Is that enough?
Yep. There you go. Now you don't have to imagine anymore. There you go. Yep. All right. So you're gonna go, nope, you're gonna keep your prosthesis on the ground. That one's staying on the ground. So you're coming up with the other side up. So go ahead and back. Yep. So that's good practice. Now I'm gonna cue you, okay? So you're gonna go
You
up,
remember this one,
up,
don't you?
over,
This is a
over,
good one.
touch.
Yeah, so you have
And then back.
prosthesis. So then,
Yep,
nope,
nice
so
and
you
slow.
start there,
Good.
and then we want you to
Good.
go
I'm
up.
gonna bring this just
up,
a little closer.
Guys,
So I want you to be able to feel as you do that
prosthesis on
kind
the
of
ground, and then you're just
shifting
bringing
from the
like
heel,
up, and you don't go
like
over
you're
till you
driving
say
through the heel of the
over, down, and then try to touch your toe to the cone. Do you feel that weight shifting from the heel to the little toe to the big toe? Well, the problem is, look at these cones are too tall, so you don't feel the toe. I didn't realize that till we got here, so I blew it. Yeah, that's why they're. Well, we used to have those steps, remember? And we'd go up on the step.
That's it, dude.
Remember, it was like elevated on a. Remember the step up aerobic steps? Yeah, and we would go over and then we
In
just
the
touch on
socket.
there.
Yep. In the socket.
But
So inside
so
the
up,
socket.
up, up, up,
So
up, over,
you didn't get to
over,
see before
over,
we did it, and
down.
I can show you in the office sometime where how we kind of. Yep. So, but what we do is we actually have you like squeeze a ball between your leg, and we hit your prosthetic foot with like a reflex hammer, and you can feel the vibrations in different parts of the socket. So when we hit the heel, you can feel, okay, that's the heel, little toe and big toe. And so it's just kind of a way that, especially when you're kind of learning and it's brand new, that you can kind of figure out like, okay, this is where pressure is, and I'm controlling the heel of the prosthesis or the foot by putting pressure on this part of the socket. I'm controlling the little toe by pressure in this part of the socket and big toe. And what we want is that translation as you're walking to go from heel to little toe to big toe. A little bit. A little bit.
So you guys got it then? You know what you're. Yeah. There you go. Good. These guys got it here. How you doing, Stanley? This is a good one, isn't it? Yeah, you're really engaging those muscles, but you look good. So now try to do it to my cue. Okay. So when I say up, just come up. Don't go over. So I say, then you go over, 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 down. Okay. So start with whichever foot you want. Ready? Up, 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 over, 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 down. Okay, good. Now the other one, up, 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 over, 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 down. Yeah, good. That's a great balanced weight shifting exercise. You really feel those muscles working in the socket, don't you? Yeah. What's that? Oh, she has? Right. Well, that's a right. And doing it slower. Yeah. If you just go like this, you don't get the same thing, but that up, up. Yep. Okay. How are you doing over here? All right. I'll move this out a little bit. All right. You ready? So if I up, up, over, over, down, you feel those muscle groups working? Yeah. It's a great, try doing just your, try doing your fingers on there. It's a lot easier than you think. Even if you did, yeah, you don't have to do, there you go, just something like that. Because when you're using an assistive device, it's not really like about putting all your weight. It's just that having that with something touching the ground, it gives you that sense of confidence. Yeah, I would give people like, oh, I couldn't do that. And then you could start doing it that way. You work a little harder, but you really don't need all that much to support yourself. So yeah, but looking good. Oh. You feel those muscles working? Yeah, this is a great weight transferring exercise. Okay, I think everybody's got it.
And using it. Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There's that mile or so that, yeah, I remember you saying that you get to a certain point and it's like, it's just, yeah. Right. Yeah, but no, cramps, Charlie horses, those don't. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yep. Right. Right. No, yeah. Right. Right.
So you stand there for hours.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yep. Good. Good. Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Because we were going to take a break between these exercises anyway, Scott. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, Jennifer, are you there?
So everybody, if everybody wants to take a seat, we're going to take just a small break in our exercises. And then we're going to get back to moving around a little bit more. Yeah, I know everybody's disappointed about that, but we do have, but we are going to be moving a little bit more, but we did kind of think that this was a natural break. And then we had somebody new join us. So we wanted to say hi to Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm not feeling well today, so I couldn't make it up there.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. How's everything going for you?
Slow. Very slow.
Okay.
I feel like I'm moving backwards.
Okay.
Why is that?
I just, since I've met Abby, I'm going forward, but trying to get moving is
Yeah.
taking me a lot longer
There's been
than I
lots of
thought it was gonna.
kind of a lot of things getting in the way of you being able to keep one foot in the front of the other, hasn't there?
Yes, very much
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Yep.
I wanted to get up there today, but unfortunately, diabetic stomach issues don't play.
No.
Well, I just wanted to check in, see if there's anything you wanted to share with us today or any
I just
information.
kind of want to check out what you guys do up there and try to learn some things that I may be able to do at home.
Sure. Well,
Abby's given me.
So we're kind of getting into more advanced stuff in this session right now, but if you do go onto the YouTube channel, we do have some of the older clinics on there. Actually, we have all the older clinics on there. So you can kind of see what building blocks we've done to get to where we are now. So we highly recommend you check those out. There's lots of resources there it's just the Bremer Prosthetics YouTube channel.
And Brandon, Bill, I believe we have a lot of our exercises on the website as well. So if you join us on our website, we have all the old clinics on there, all the step ups and exercises that might be a little bit more demonstrative for home use. So, but if you would check it out and then maybe give us some feedback and let us know if that's helpful as well.
I will try to do that.
Well, we're real glad you got a chance to log in. Sorry you couldn't join us in person, and we look forward to seeing you when you can make it.
Yep, I'm hoping to next month.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Bye now.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is the part where
so we're going to set
do we
this-
want to do the tape first and do the heel toe and then do the ladder? Do you think that would be a good progression?
Yep, that works.
It is. That's how it's going to work today, right?
Yep, that's how it's going to go. You see it? I got
can-
it. I'll get it.
Huh? No.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going
ready to go.
kind of put the things that we've just learned into motion in a fun way. How long do you want this to be, Scott?
I think that looks good. You think?
Yep. All right, so what we're going to start with is heel toe walking. Here, I'm going to pick this side up. I get this a little straighter. Maybe not.
You got it.
Right. Right.
Actually, to follow with all the jumping out of the airplane theme, this is we're going to do this on a balance beam, and that's our goal for next year.
Yeah, right. So this is our heel toe walking. There's a lot of weight shifting in this. And we'll be happy to be a spotter for anybody who needs it.
I think I need it.
It's a hard one.
Or I've been drinking. That might straighten me out, huh?
Yep. So
just need to practice.
what you could kind of see there for Scott is, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but as he came back this way, it was going a little faster. What does that do? It helps. It makes those muscles that you can use your momentum. You can kind of use, but that's okay. I mean, it wasn't something wrong. So just know that like this is one of those things that going slower makes it harder.
Well, the thing is too, do you remember when we would do these exercises
want it to be harder,
before?
right.
When we would talk about finding your center, remember on the prosthetic limb? So what I kind of did that time when I was there, instead of lifting my leg up really quick, just kind of making sure I had my center of balance on the prosthesis. And then so like set it and then go. Otherwise you come up and you might be to one side. And remember, you really want to shift with your hips because you don't have an ankle. So you can use your hips to help balance. But after not having a couple months of step up, I needed a second to get back into the. See, that time I was. Nope. I was only.
Right.
So I wasn't doing that either.
So who's up first? Ben, you want to go first? Yep.
So we want to try to be heel toe, like as close to heel toe as you can, but
obviously putting a little space, that's okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Ben.
The idea, there you go. Good.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Really good.
No, not nearly as easy as he just made it look. Good job, Ben.
Good job, Ben.
Want to go alternate back and forth? You want to go? Yep.
Yeah.
Again, like Scott said, so on when you start, if you want to put a little bit more space, that might make it a little easier to kind of find that center, find that balance.
That's exactly, yeah, like what you were saying. If you get that little bit of space or whatever, once you kind of find your balance point, then it gets easier.
Yep. So if you want to maybe take your first few and put a little space in there and then try to narrow it up as you get that feel for it, or just keep going with a little space. That's okay too. Nice.
You know, it's worse if you look straight down.
Right.
You're off looking at the line ahead.
Right. Good job.
Oh, am I blocking? Sorry.
So yeah, go ahead and just try doing a little space there, Roger. There you go. Good. Nice. Good job. Nice. Nice job. Good job. Dale, go ahead. Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard one. This is pretty advanced here. Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Bob, you want to try it? Good job. Nice. Good catch. Yeah, good job. She's not. Yeah, go ahead. Nice. Nice. Who's next? Who else wants to go? You want to try it, Dawn, or you're not? Okay, you don't have to. You don't have to try it if you don't want to. Lynn, you don't want to try it. It's okay.
Well, we can spot people too.
Yeah,
if
we
we want to try it.
Michelle, Stanley, you're up next. Okay. Nope, you're up. You're good. You're good. Nice. It does. Right.
I've never done this before.
Yeah. There you go.
Good.
There you go. Good.
So Michelle, what I want you to really focus on is going from the heel and the big toe. You know those areas, right? Follow through with those things. Really think about those. Really focus on kind of controlling and holding back with that heel. Stay on the heel as long as you can for this one. Heel, heel, heel. No big toe till you're ready to take it off the ground. Heel, heel, heel. Good. Stay on the heel. Nice. Oh, yeah. Good job.
So what you actually plant better with your prosthetic foot than your good, because you with your good foot, you're trying to get it down quicker and you're going with the toe. Try not to lead with the toe, but lead with the heel. And that's why with the prosthesis, you can't cheat and do that. And you were
Can you try
actually
it?
planning better on the prosthetic side. Yeah, so
He's gonna try it. Nice.
Pretty
good
good.
job. Yeah. Chris, do you still practice standing on your prosthesis? Do you still practice? That's what I was gonna say. One thing, I mean, he's doing this, but he spends time during his day practicing just balancing on his prosthetic side. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Daniel-san.
Yeah. Need to
I
learn to
couldn't
walk
help
before you
myself.
fly.
One-to-one problem.
Right.
There's nothing. If do right, no can defend.
All right, just stand. Casey, you gonna try it? Yeah. Right.
Well, I was a carpenter.
So you had to
I was
do
gonna say
that.
you were walking across
Yeah.
2x4s to get.
That he had to do this for real. Good job, Casey.
Stanley, you want to try it?
Yeah, I'll drop it.
All right.
You gonna try it, Lynn? Of course. No, of course you can. Yeah. No, of course you can. Right. Good job.
That's pretty darn good.
Good job. Good job. All right, come on, Lynn.
I keep.
Yep.
It may not be as clean as everybody else.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, hell, that looks. Like-
Actually, that looked.
Right.
I mean, bending the knee good too. That
Yeah. Well. Nice job.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. So then the last thing that we have here is the ladder.
You know, my kids that played basketball with me know remember this thing.
Yep.
I used to coach, so I love this thing. Okay. So there's a few different ways there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but for the purposes of what we're going to do today, and again, it's just weight shifting. So, taking shorter steps. One of the things, especially above the knee amputees, do you know what kind of steps or situations people are in usually when they have a fall? Short steps. Yeah, it's not taking a big stride. It's when you're putting your weight here or going there. So these are great for
The
that
total knee, Roger.
fine
Is that
motor
the total knee.
control
You
type
watch it.
situation. So
Yeah.
first off, they'll start out with both your legs in the square, and we're just going to go like this. Okay. And if you want to go faster, you can feel free to go as fast as you know. Well, I had to make up for my poor performance. I had to redeem myself. But, the speed doesn't really matter. It's just, but you want to push yourself, make sure you're comfortable, but go through a little slower, try to go a little faster next time.
So I want everybody to focus. If you're going to go down, lead with your left foot, and on the way back, lead with your right foot. So switch it up.
Or what we should do probably is I think everybody could line up.
Okay.
And then we just go to the end.
Yeah.
And then when you come your
Oh,
second time,
okay.
go with the
That
opposite.
works too.
Because that way we don't.
Yep, that's good.
Because
Yep.
that's kind of how we always used to do it. Remember?
That works
Yep.
great.
So, okay.
No, both feet in the same square, Roger. There you go.
Yeah, it's a little easier when you can't get the
Right.
needle.
Right. No, that's a tough position to
Do you
bend.
remember the baby step exercises from Step Up?
Yeah, like I said, that's worth making.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's easier than that, but it's it's the same type of short movement. Yeah. Well, it honestly too, especially if you're below the knee, maybe trying to be on your toes more. I mean, if you see how when I do it, I have my knees bent, so you're kind of. There you go. Yeah.
There you go. There you go, Ben.
Ben.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you were at a disadvantage, Roger. There was no way for you to do that the other way you tried it.
He was close. I mean, if he worked on it, he could get it.
No, because he's not going to get that knee to bend from that position. It won't happen. Yeah, as long as he doesn't have to take a big step with his other one, but if those are side by side, he's not. Nice
Yeah,
job.
there you go. Yeah, that's nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Dave, I see you.
Nice job. Yeah, Dave. Good job.
Well, cool. Now that we got a few people stepping up their game, I can like bring in some different.
Can you get that? Can you get that knee to bend? There you go. Oh, yeah, great.
Did
Yeah, you're
everybody
doing
go
it.
twice?
Nice.
Okay. So is this the last of the?
Nice.
Nice.
Good job. Good job.
Did you go twice? Okay.
Good job, Dale.
Oh, yeah. Did you get a fast one? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, good job.
Okay. Right. Well, that's it though. You're controlling it in a confined spot. Right. It's fine. It's short burst. Okay. Everybody pay attention to how we're going to line up on this one.
Position, like when
So-
the feet are side by side.
We're going sideways. Remember like the walking, how we did with the tape before side steps? This is a little bit more
Yeah, as long
involved.
as you
So
get- you were doing
going
it fine in the
down,
way when
we're going to go like this. Both feet in the box. You guys see what we're doing here? So now, when you get to the end, okay, you're going to go to the other side. That way you're going with the other group. You're leading with the other. So when you go through, come to the other side, and then we'll wait for this line to finish. And then when they're finished, we'll go this way. Both feet in the box. Okay. Everybody line up over here. Go ahead. Yep, when you're ready.
This is all for fun, right?
I would leave. There you go. You had it backwards. Exactly. Good job, Dave. You should be leading with your left foot. Yeah. Okay, good. Then you come to the side. We might have to get a team together if people keep doing this good. Brandon said softball next summer. So when you come out, bring your now take the prosthesis out first. There you go. You see, that'll get you in a better position for that next square. There you go. That actually, when you get the right rhythm, it does feel natural, but when you don't have it, it seems really awkward.
The trick is to learn how to get that. You're doing real good.
You remember these, don't you, Don? You don't remember doing these? You did. You remember the place in Flint we used to go to? You didn't go to that level 11 place? Yeah, we did these over there. I was going to say, I thought you were there then. Yeah. So good. So come back with, now lead with the prosthetic foot. No, or I'm sorry, your left foot, my fault. Yeah, left. Now out with the left, out with the left. There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of if you get the footwork right, you can do it. But if you're crossing your feet, it's just making it harder because it feels more natural now, doesn't it? Yeah. Yep. So now take your left foot out. Oh, no, we're here, okay? I'll bring your left foot out. So you're struggling on that one.
Yeah.
Try to keep your toes like shallower. Don't go as far into the box. There you go. Now, when you come back, you don't. No, left. Why was it not? If people sneeze, you say bless you. What else do you say? I don't know why I say bless you and she laughs at me. Oh, I think now you got to say it because she thinks it's so funny that I say it. Yeah.
That was just I got it.
Oh. Okay. All right, good deal. Yeah. Okay. Dave, you're up. Yeah, once you get the rhythm, it's kind of. Good job, Dave. I think we'll bring this with us next time too. We always, there's a lot you can do with it because we're shifting in so many different directions. Do you guys realize that we're using?
So just so that you guys know, October in Brighton is going to look a little bit different. It's going to kind of be it's going to be kind of going back to basics because we're hoping to see a lot of new faces there, people that haven't done it. But when we come back here in November again, we'll be continuing to build on what we're doing right now. Yep.
Or do we want it to be a collage of some of the things that we've done so they see more stuff? I mean, we don't have, I'm just saying we don't have an agenda yet.
Right.
And I know we talked about doing that, but maybe that's. Yep. Yeah, you're just leading with the right on everything now.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're doing it perfect.
You know, you lead with the right. Yeah, as long as you're leading with the right on everything, you're doing good. So what did you just say? I thought I heard you say you didn't think you were going to feel comfortable with doing this, but you did. Yeah.
Good job, Robin.
Yeah. But I'd like you to share that.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
So
In case
this
of,
one
we don't have
first.
maybe
This one
I
goes
think
in
that's
first.
important to. I don't
Yep.
ever heard that.
Yep. And then this one comes out first. Yep. Yep. And then in and out. In, there you go. And then come towards me when you come out. So come so that you can step into the next one. So step up this way. There you go. Now you got it. Good job. Nice job.
I didn't want to jump now and I'm not going to want to do it 10. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know there's a something like that, or it's going down. It's still running. We're just-
Good job, Don. All right, guys. Well, before we wrap things up, does anybody have any questions? Anything anybody, any questions, comments about it?
Getting tangled. Is it better if we just?
Oh, well, I guess since I've been put on the spot and I wasn't going to, but so for anybody that doesn't know, I did say before that my goal for things was to climb Mount Rainier, and I did make it to the top. My wife and I, we did, not only did we get to the top, but we did the important thing of getting back down to the bottom. So we're here. it was a pretty fun experience. So
Did you do that by yourself?
what's that?
Climb the mountain?
Well, I said my wife and I.
Oh.
Did you guys heard me
I
say?
was trying to throw a
You guys
shout out
heard
for
me say
Janelle.
Janelle, right? Janelle also did it.
Hi, Janelle.
But okay, well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. It's great to be back at it. Oh, go ahead. Sure.
Here, Casey, can
Using virtual reality. Uh-huh. So I know that there are a lot of things that people do with like different kinds of video games and like simulations for balance and doing that stuff. And like, you know, I've seen in different physical therapies where they have the different scales that you stand on and you can move like the dot around the maze. Remember the old marble mazes that you could do this? They have those for physical therapy where you're standing and you can make the dot on the screen and you have to make it move through the maze, or you can try to write your name while you're weight shifting. Those are all great things. The virtual reality, I don't think right now, the way that they do it, you're not actually moving. So most of the virtual reality, you're just kind of in one spot. So it's not going to be as much weight. Well, okay. It's horrible. I mean, I don't know if I'd recommend it or not, just because balance is such a strange thing. If you want to try it, I'd start sitting down at first, see how you orient all those things. I've tried it also. I'm also somebody that can't do it. It gives me headaches because the screen's so close. I can't, it's not, I don't really like it, but anything that you can do that's going to kind of get you to where you're shifting your weight outside of what your comfort zone is a good thing.
Apparently, this is military, but they have a little banister that goes completely around.
Okay.
Arm high. They put you in it, and then you're reacting to this or that.
Oh, cool.
They move a little bit.
Yep.
I'm curious to see if anybody has done that up here, but I'm gonna have to try it out.
Right.
If you want video games, it's wonderful. I don't like to do it.
All right.
Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks for coming, everybody.
concludes today, and thanks everyone for joining us.
Hopefully we see you in October, or if not in November for sure. See you, Chris. Have a good one.